What's up, people? This is Nage Girl 30 here, and this is my Raw review for April 15th, 16th. Well, 16th now because it's actually midnight that I'm doing this, and I am, as you can see, comfortable with my blankie around my shoulders. But I have to say, tonight's Raw did come out, to start off a little bit interesting. I have to say that it was interesting that they started off with a match instead of a promo, seeing that it was Randy Orton and Sheamus versus The Big Show. A feud that is interesting, but now it's starting to fall short because let's face it, these guys don't really have a shot in the dark of beating Big Show at all. But seeing the match was pretty good, as well as the one match that I have to say, well, I mean, they had a few matches on the card that were pretty good, but kind of forgettable. But except for one match that I actually did like, and it was Kofi Kingston's match that he had against Antonio Cesaro. The fact that he actually beat Cesaro was really, really good. It was a really good match leading on. It was a really good match throughout. It was really clean, well done throughout, and it was nice to see Kofi Kingston actually take a belt. The sad thing is that Kofi Kingston is going to constantly be downgraded with every match that he's in. He can't go up from the IC Championship belt. He has been stuck in the mid card for I don't know how long. And it's messed up that he can't go beyond the IC Championship belt, and now he's downgrading back to the IC Championship belt. And I'm like, really? Come on, can you do something with him? I mean, he's a great talent. Don't let it go to waste. And as for CM Punk, there's a lot of rumors going around that CM Punk is really badly injured. The fact that he can't even go on to even be in Extreme Rules, that was going around for almost 2 weeks prior to WrestleMania. So it's a given that he actually did have his promo that he did so he could actually take time off to heal. So I kind of expected that to happen because I actually did see that in a lot of reports before WrestleMania even started. So that was something I kind of predicted. But honestly, the one thing I'm going to say about this that really did surprise me was Brock Lesnar's return. I didn't really expect Brock Lesnar to actually return, let alone beat the crap out of 3MB. But his promo was pretty good, as well as them actually promoting Extreme Rules with his possible match with Triple H that is actually going to happen. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar in a steel cage. That's one match that's on the card for Extreme Rules that actually got started, so they did a good job in actually hyping you up for that. They also try to get you hyped up, telling you that The Undertaker and Team Hell No is going to be going against The Shield in London on Raw. And honestly, I hope the British Fist actually goes. I'm doubting it though, but good grief, that should be a match to see. The fact that The Undertaker, the Phenom, is going to be together again with Kane as the Brothers of Destruction and Daniel Bryan versus The Shield. I mean, that should be awesome. They're hyping up next week's Raw, and they're hyping up at least one match for Extreme Rules. I have to give them a plus for that. That's actually a good idea. But the matches throughout just got stale within the second hour. When the second hour hit, you're just like, okay. And then the third hour hit, you were like, man. Even though the Ryback promo was pretty much in the middle, and that was a good promo, because the one thing I have to say about this, that feud is more plausible than any other feud they have thrown together throughout the whole, throughout the whole WrestleMania, prior WrestleMania season. It actually makes sense. If you literally go back and watch the footage, where's John Cena? He's had his back throughout the entire time, but then all of a sudden John Cena disappears and gets beat up by the Shield, not once, not twice, but 6 times. So the way that they actually fit that together is pretty good. It's really good, actually, and I'm looking forward to see a lot more of this. I'm looking forward to see a lot more of Ryback versus John Cena. And then let's face it, sure, there's some Cena fans and there's lots of Cena haters in the YWC, including my homegirl being the biggest Cena fan there is. I have to say this. John Cena was semi-humble when he left WrestleMania, and he became somewhat of an arrogant heel when he got on Raw for his first time after winning the championship title. If you honestly think about it, he's more of a heel now than he was going in before WrestleMania. He was supposed to be a frustrated face, but now he's acting like an arrogant heel. And for some reason, the crowd really wants something different from John Cena. You gave the crowd exactly what you wanted in Jersey. How come you can't do that now? And I know you're in fear of losing money, but then look at your crowd. They're bored to tears. And not only that, John Cena's acting like a heel. It works. It would work if that happens, but more than likely, it's gonna probably be, and maybe a heel turn later on down the line, but just not right now. But one thing that actually got me tickled pink, and yes, I said tickled pink, was Fandango. Fandangoing happens to be the new Harlem Shake. Like, honestly, da 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 da. I'm like, really? It was probably the cutest thing I ever did see. Everybody joined in. Who would have ever thought that his entrance music would put him over? Not Chris Jericho, his entrance music. That's the only thing that people remember about Fandango is his entrances. That's why I loved his entrance, because it's catchy and people will remember him by it. And that's the only thing that's getting him over right now. And I have to say that Fandango's little moment in the sun when he was in the ring trying to get people hyped up was okay. But I have to say that it was really interesting and fun seeing the crowd react to his music. I loved it, every bit of it. But from there, I have to say that the matches were somewhat forgettable. And the reason why is because you always predict the same outcome. Just like with Santino Marella and the Great Khali, their match with the Rhodes Scholars, for real, like, you kind of already knew going in that Santino wasn't going to win, even though Santino hasn't been on for a while. I would love that Santino actually would win something, but then let's face it, they were against the Rhodes Scholars. No, it's not going to happen. And the Divas match, let's be honest, there's nothing really interesting about the Divas division right now, and the Bella Twins came back in such a mediocre way. It was ridiculous. But I have to say that Ryback versus John Cena is the only thing that pretty much interests me about this Raw. Because Ryback's promo was awesome. It was really, really good. Because it's a very plausible feud. He has a decent gripe going on about what John Cena did. He's had his back. He said he had his back. He befriended him. And when he needed him, he wasn't there. So that's a great way of actually trying to build up a decent feud. And that's the one thing I love about this. Because they have actually of doing a good job and actually somewhat semi-caring about how the feud is going to turn out. Especially if it's with John Cena. Because if you honestly go back and look at WrestleMania and see him beat The Rock, he was semi-humble the whole time. Semi-humble. But then when he actually got on Raw, he became an arrogant heel. He's acting like an arrogant heel. The crowd has treated him like an arrogant heel. Make him an arrogant heel. Especially the fact that he's a title holder. You did the same thing with Christian. Do it with him. It may not be now, but sooner or later. But then another thing that actually kind of made me think a little bit. Wade Barrett ended up getting the belt on Raw back from The Miz. Now, do you think the reason why that they actually did give the belt to Wade Barrett is because they're going to London next week and they're trying to win over the UK crowd because the UK crowd freaking hates them right now? Well, not hates them totally, but somewhat, like, doesn't care. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder, are they trying to win over the UK crowd by giving Wade Barrett the belt? Because if that's so, why on earth did you let R-Truth beat him? What are you trying to do? I mean, I don't know. But all in all, I have to say that the ending was completely awkward, especially with the bad with the bad camera angles, as well as the I guess the bad timing for the camera to be on while Rollins was tying the shoe. I mean, either or, the ending was completely awkward. It kind of took away from the hype, from the flavor that it's supposed to be, that feud. It kind of took it away from it a little bit, kind of a bit of a distraction. But I have to say that it was an okay Raw. It started off to be great, but then in the middle it was like, okay. And then at the end it was like, meh. So honestly, it was okay. That's pretty much my feelings over this Raw. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Leave your comments in the comment section below, or send me a video response on how you feel about how this Raw went, or how do you think this Raw should have gone in your eyes. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.